Greetings, my beautiful light beams and lovely souls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Gabrielle with Shekinah Healing, and I welcome you to our three-part series on your multidimensionality and sound healing. We are going to be covering quite a bit in this three-part series, and I do recommend this for anyone, wherever you are on the path. If you are just starting out, if you are seasoned, this is generally meant to be very helpful for anyone at any point in time. A little bit about me. I am a Reiki master teacher. I also specialize in sound healing, shamanic energy work, and I work on creating content for the collective, art, music, sounds, to stimulate and assist the collective in their process of healing and coming home to self. So the technology that I use, or the engineering that I utilize with my sound transmissions and my cosmic attunement series, really are unique to Shekinah Healing and the work that I want to encourage the collective to do, which is tapping into the inner worlds and the magic of your being. So today we're going to kind of cover the base or the foundation of the work that I do and the value behind sound healing, how to utilize the benefits of sound healing and vibrational therapy to then stimulate different aspects and elements of the body through the chakra system, which I felt like was probably the easiest and most foundational for everyone to tap into. And then what we will do in part 2 is a more detailed version of sound healing, adding on top of what we've built today: sound, vocal, throat, light language stimulation, the benefits of that. And then finally, we will be experiencing kind of an example of the cosmic attunements, except it really isn't a cosmic attunement. Part 3 is a very powerful, stimulating, activating sound healing experience that first places you in an altered state of consciousness to then experience sound from that state of consciousness. So this is about getting you to a space to experience sound and light in a new form. Now, some of you may be familiar with plant medicine. Plant medicine is a very good example of what can place us into an altered state of consciousness. And from this altered state of consciousness, we then experience our external reality in a different way. You can absolutely place yourself into an altered state of consciousness in a completely lucid and sober space without any plant medicine. Now, plant medicine has its very beautiful and powerful benefits, and I absolutely honor the process of plant medicine, but I do encourage you to tap into the magic of how you have the power to place yourself into altered states of consciousness. So that's what we're going to kind of focus on, and we're going to start very subtly and then move into more intense spaces. I do recommend that all of you follow the schedule put in place for this three-part series so that you can have the optimal results. You could watch all 3 parts in this series back to back and experience what you experience, but for the optimal results, for you to really dive into this experience and benefit the most, I would recommend that you spend about 2 weeks on each of these videos. Now, follow your intuition on what fits best for you. Regardless of where you're at on the path, I will encourage you to utilize at least 2 weeks with each of these parts. Now, once we get through this intro portion, or once you're past this first exercise, I do have the video separate. The exercise is separate from the courses part of it, so that you can just go straight to the exercise and dive into the sound healing portion. Quick note, all of these sounds utilized are available for your purchase and investment as support for my channel and as support for your journey via my website, the binaural audio frequencies, as well as the ones that include my channeled sound transmissions. Available to you is our Multidimensional Heart Temple series or program that you can dive into if you're interested in diving in more deeply to your multidimensionality, your inner strengths. We have 3 detailed guided journeys as well as multidimensional exercises that assist in expanding in your abilities, your connection with your inner divine nature, and your inner spiritual journey and healing overall. Of the 3 journeys, there is a detailed, expansive exploration of the Akashic records. We also have tapping in with your spirit animal, your spirit familiar, and also exploration of your inner heart temple and your inner garden of manifestation, attraction, and the inner child. This specific program is great for anyone, anywhere on their spiritual journey, just to assist in your overall process of tapping into that inner magic, expanding in your multidimensionality and your abilities, your connection with the divine. I do also offer cosmic attunements. Now, these are very unique to Shekinah healing. These are very powerful and potent shamanic ceremonies that you have control over, that are professionally recorded audio guiding you through an alchemical process of powerful transmutation and activation regarding the specific subject that we are working with. So currently, as of now, there are 2. I have my Messengers of Christ and my Solar Logos Cosmic Attunements. Now, each of these cosmic attunements has an alignment session, an integration session, and the cosmic attunements. The Solar Logos has a total of 3, where you spend 2 weeks in each of these spaces, activating the first one being Divine Mother Dragon, the second one being the Solar Logos, the Divine Father energy, and the third one being the inner child, the inner Christ and monad. In the Cosmic Attunement series, we have the alignment sessions, which are very powerful audio-based sessions that you listen to either 30 minutes before you dive into the Cosmic Attunements, or just in the case that you want to align with a specific vibration or frequency. They utilize light language, sounds, tones, frequencies to guide you through a process of crown to root cleansing and clearing, as well as the auric field. Very powerful forces. Then we step into the cosmic attunements, which are very detailed, guided experiences that lead you into an altered state of consciousness, which then allows for vibrations, frequencies, and sounds to lead you through a cosmic experience. And what is most beautiful about this is it's all a reflection of the inner world. So for example, the first cosmic attunement in the Solar Logos series is the Divine Mother Dragon, Kundalini. And it's a Kundalini activation. I have more information about the Kundalini on my website. I also have a free guide on multidimensionality and the cosmic attunements, my services, sound healing abilities with free light language exercises and multidimensional exercises below in the description. So feel free to dive into that if you want to know more information. I also detail all of the side effects that could happen and really dive into the preparation of these cosmic attunements and these experiences that you may have. With the cosmic attunements, specifically the Divine Mother Dragon Kundalini of the Solar Logos, we dive into ancient Babylon and Sumer, and we dive into the ancient temples. And in this ancient temple, we dive into your Akashic field, retrieving, cleansing, and clearing anything from your earthly lives, cosmic lives, and then finally merging with the all that is. We finally dive into the inner temple, where we then head into a chamber of transformation, death, and rebirth, and we then prepare you to meet the Divine Mother Dragon, connected with Tiamat and Namu of ancient times, and go through that sound experience. I am also still offering Reiki attunements. I offer Karuna Ki, traditional Usui, as well as Violet Flame, all the way up to master level, so be sure to check that out if you are interested in learning more information. I also have an introduction video, which I'm going to add here as well for you to dive into if you'd like to know a little bit more about me. We do also have our community of light beams. You can join our Discord server where we have a beautiful community. We share and we have different topics that we talk about and discuss. I encourage you to subscribe to my family of light beams, my light beam sanctuary, to support the channel. You can subscribe for access to exclusive content, including sounds, early access, energetic alignment sessions, and more. I love you so very much. Let's get started. As we get started, one of the most important elements of what I'm trying to convey, or what I want or desire for the collective to embody and understand, is once you are conscious of something, once you become aware of something, and I want you to ponder what being conscious or aware is, you then have power or control, and not the kind of control that's about the I or the identity, but universal control that is based in compassion and love. You now have control over that energy that you have become conscious and aware of. So when you become truly conscious and aware that you are the cosmos, that you are a microcosm in a macrocosm, what does that mean? What does that look like? What does that feel like? You now have more autonomous control over how your being operates from that wisdom and that inner knowledge. And so there is knowledge and there's wisdom, or there's intellect and there's wisdom. One feminine, one masculine, or internal, external. Intellect or logic serves its purpose, and wisdom also serves its purpose. Wisdom is not something that someone can tell you about. Wisdom is something that you gain through experience. Intellect, you can read about, you can, read sacred texts and have an understanding of certain concepts. But until you experience it and gain that wisdom, that's when you know. So what I'm trying to offer you is the wisdom, the knowing, the experience, the magic of sound and light. And the fact that you are these things. You are vibration. You are light. You are the cosmos. And that is exactly what we are going to explore. As we kind of set this base foundation, we're going to dive into the 7 energy centers very quickly. You can also dive into more information. I think there is a portion of that in my guide surrounding the energy centers, and as well as a very general look at the different levels of bodies, or the different layers of bodies that we have. But also on my website, I will link it below, there is a section on chakras, meridians, and bodies, as well as book recommendations that I encourage the collective to dive into if you're interested. The more that you know, the more that you open yourself up to understand and receive the wisdom of what that is. So in my journey thus far, that has led me to where I am now and where I am going to continue to go. And that is a space of love, compassion, and surrender. And I desire for the collective to understand that and experience that fully. The guru that I work with quotes quite often that sound, energy, light, and awareness are all the same thing outside of this plane of awareness and existence. At the core root of everything in existence, if you want to go all the way back to the beginning, whether you subscribe to the belief of the Big Bang or something different, you can look at scientific texts as well as religious texts that encourage this energy of the first building blocks of creation being connected to vibration and light, or sound and light. And through this, you can then connect and understand that you are vibration and light. You are just different levels of density on this field, all the way up to what we would classify as divine source, the cosmos, the galaxies, the universe, outside of the universe, everything that could possibly be. Now, because everything around you has a vibration, including yourself, this in turn can be manipulated. Now, it's important to, one, have these building blocks. We're going to be diving into the chakras, we're going to be diving into the frequency, we're going to be diving into the sound, and then we're going to be diving into the light facets of these. You are going to have this foundation that's going to assist you in putting together this magical experience for your consciousness that is going to show you various things that I want to hear about in the comments. What I have found in my journey and my experience is the path to liberation and transformation dwells within. And how do we turn our focus within? Every day there must be devotion to the internal. There must be time spent inside. There must be reflection. And it can start off very small and begin to grow until it takes over your everyday life, and you are then operating more from an internal basis. Now, the way that I look at this is kind of the esoteric Western view. A lot of what we see, specifically in Western traditions or the Western world, is the feminine or the mother energy missing. And when I say missing, I mean we can see this within our relationships, with our parents, with how we were raised, with our school systems, education, every system you can think of in the world, as well as how we view and value ourselves and our internal being. The mother is everything inside, the feminine, the space of rest, the darkness, the abyss. We are overt in our masculine energies and we neglect our feminine energies. And what we see is this mass movement of spiritual awakenings. And what's happening is a lot of us are turning within and saying, this isn't quite right. And the way that this works for me is going within myself. Or the way this works for me is diving into cards, or learning about astrology or the stars or the cosmos, or diving into practices of meditation and breath work or yogas. These are all systems that are going to continue to blossom and grow as we begin to balance out the streams of feminine and masculine energy, or odic and actinic forces, the internal and the external. Vibration can create harmony or disharmony. And disharmony is when we play like two notes next to each other on the piano and it sounds like, ooh, something's not quite right there. And then we have where we play chords and there's a perfect resonance, and that creates harmony. When you are conscious of this harmony and conscious of these notes and awareness, you are then pulling that energy into layers of self and allowing that to do its work. When you set your intentions to receive the healing nature of sound, you are then opening doors for even more expansion. So I know some of you dive into meditation sounds. Some of you may have dived into my sound transmissions, had experiences, felt relaxed, went to sleep, whatever these things are. Now imagine, and some of you already do this, if you were to consciously utilize the sound, utilize my voice, utilize the frequencies to then set an intention before listening. Feel that energy, breathe it into the heart, send it out, surround yourself in magic, and experience it that way. There's a lot of different levels to which we can experience things, and it's really important not to limit our conscious awareness. I will always say it is less about the sound and the vibration as it is about your state of awareness and consciousness, and getting you to that state of awareness and consciousness to then experience the benefits of life happening around you. The sound of the birds. And this is a really good example. Some of you have been into have resonated with an altered state of consciousness where the birds sound really annoying. They're chirping and it's like, oh my gosh, can the birds just stop? And then other times, you may be in a higher state of awareness and consciousness and then feel that connection with the birds chirping and hear what they're conveying and feel what they're conveying and be in harmony with that frequency. This is a perfect example of how it is about our inner state of awareness to be able to receive this. And this is what I am obsessed with creating and assisting the collective with embodying, is diving into those inner states of awareness, getting you to that space of higher consciousness and allowing you to receive. Now, it is important for me to mention, when I say higher and lower, it is just a very intellectual way of viewing the inner and outer cosmos. What is high and low doesn't really exist, it just is. And I want to honor all the levels and layers of being, all the highs and the lows. You are honored wherever you are in your journey and experience. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. And I want to thank you for trusting me in this experience. We are going to dive into general information about the chakras, and then we're going to head into a breathwork exercise, and finally, the portion of this exercise I'm very excited to show you. We are going to start with the root chakra at the tailbone, the base of the spine. The color red, a very rich ruby red, this is the I am, a very, very powerful energy center, the seat of your being. It is very important for individuals on the spiritual journey to find healing in this space and focus on this space first and foremost. Many individuals would say the ages 0 to 7 are the fixtures through which the root chakra is developed. This is our space of security, of our safety, of our identity here, our relationship with our body. We want to feel stable within the root chakra so that we can then move up into these different planes of energy. So many individuals would also say that each of the energy centers, we have more than the 7 that I am listing, but I want to start off with this base foundation. Many would say that each of the chakras dictates a different realm of consciousness or energy, which is why it is also very important to start with the root chakra. What I find with many people is that their awareness may awaken, they may have a spontaneous awakening connected with third eye energy or universal love and compassion, that expansion energy, which is connected with the throat chakra here. And then they have to then find their way back down to the root chakra, set that stable foundation to ensure that they're not floating off like a kite, and assist with that grounding. The root chakra is also our relationship with abundance, with the material. It's a very powerful space connected with our Kundalini as well. So this is where the Kundalini is coiled around the base of the spine, and when the Kundalini awakens, it travels up the Sushumna or the spine and reaches the different energy centers, activating it along the way. This is a very lengthy process. I know many people have misconceptions about the Kundalini. You can find more information below in the description or on my website. The root chakra is the Muladhara as well in Sanskrit. Now, the next chakra is the Svadhisthana or the sacral chakra. This is near our belly button and connects with our sense of pleasure. Now, we have a lot of wounds here surrounding guilt, shame, as well as sexual traumas as well. This is our relationship with our emotions, the element of water. The root chakra is earth. Now, the sacral chakra is our creation space. This is our space, regardless of gender, where energy is being created, where our intentions are being created and being sent out or prepared for the root chakra, prepared for the process of birth. So our womb space, this is our collection, a very feminine energy center where we receive a lot of our energy insights and where we also deal with our emotions, our subconscious energy. We want to make sure that we are really addressing the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is also connected with, from my studies, the moon cycles. So it's a very cyclical energy, very watery, very much connected with our intestinal systems as well as our sexual organs. I see mixed results. I do connect the sexual organs with the root chakra, but also the sacral chakra. So this is our space of creation. Moving up to the next one, the solar plexus or the Manipura, very, very beautiful yellow. I think I forgot to mention the sacral chakra is a vibrant orange. We have yellow here, the colors of the rainbow moving up, red, orange, yellow, connected with the sun, very powerful to work with the sun or Mars with the solar plexus. This is our divine will, our power, our force, our gut, connected with our stomach, our liver, our major organs as well, our diaphragm, and our sense of control. We want to be sure that we are in a space of grounded action and balance in these lower chakras to assist in our space of control so that we are not overindulging or underindulging. I do find that this is the seat of where people control their eating habits as well, or get obsessed with a certain individual or an energy. We want to be sure that this space is balanced out. This is where a lot of our power is and where there is encouragement when we are doing breathwork practices or breathwork of any kind, pranayama, to focus the breathing and bringing the energy to this space. This is a storehouse of energy. Moving up from the solar plexus, we have the heart chakra or the anahata. From what I've studied, the lower three chakras are more odic in force or externalized in how they output energy. And the heart is a space of both. Now, it's very interesting because the way I've kind of dictated, and you can find this in the Multidimensionality Guide, there are different opinions on what chakras are more feminine or masculine in energy output, but they're all overall balanced. Now, the heart space, I would say, is a very even keel of giving and receiving. This is a space of love, of union, of balance, of our relationship to the astral body as well, higher states of consciousness. We start to head into that energy within the heart chakra or that resonance. We start to head into the fields of Venus, or some would say our solar consciousness from the heart space. This is a very beautiful energy center, and we want to be sure that we are balanced out. The heart space is an origin space for a lot of practitioners to work with and start out with, as well as it is a space where it is very safe, and you can also place protection from the heart center as well. So very beautiful, the anahata, chanting the Sanskrit or the traditional Sanskrit names of the chakras as well. I would highly recommend diving into and learning the original names of the energy centers. Now, moving up, we start to move outside of form with the throat chakra here. We head into universal love and compassion. This is our space of expression, very powerful creation space parallel to the sacral chakra. Both of these are centers of creation and expression. One is more internal and the other is more external. With our throat, we speak, we share, we sing, we declare. And if you understand or know the wisdom of vibration or sound, you then are more mindful of how you are using your throat chakra. There are often wounds centered around our expression, which I often connect with the solar plexus, or the bond between the throat and the solar plexus here, and how we communicate and how we control our communication, how our throat, we ingest foods, we take things in, and our stomach digests them or begins the process of digesting. So we want to be sure that this space is healed and opened, or that we are working on opening and healing this space, dictated by the color blue. I keep forgetting, the colors are so important. And this is green, beautiful emerald. Now, diving up into the third eye chakra or the ajna, we start to head into light body energy or light, time and space, very beautiful, vibrant, light energy. And this is the state of consciousness here. So very rarely do individuals actually pop up into this space unless they're really on the path to spiritual enlightenment or mastery, or you have a breakthrough experience where you are outside of time and space and you are surrounded by immense amounts of love and light and vibrancy. This is indigo, and I've seen some say lavender. This is some would say the pituitary gland, some would say the pineal. Most individuals who study this would say the pineal gland is the crown chakra and the pituitary is the third eye, or the creation of the bond between the two is the sealing of the journey of the Kundalini up the spine, completely establishing kind of the hook. And that's a completely different story. I have a tendency to veer off. The third eye chakra is our connection with sight, our awareness, our connection with the divine, our ability to perceive. So I would often connect this with multidimensionality as a whole, clairvoyance, claircognizance, the sixth sense as a whole, the ability to channel, remote view, all of these abilities and ways that we can connect with the divine. Some are more sensitive than others to various elements of this, and that is why some people might be clairvoyant from birth, and others it might eventually open up. I stand by the belief that everyone has the ability to tap into the connection with divine source in various ways. That is exactly what happened for me. I was not in any way clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairsentient. It has happened over time as I have worked through unlocking, healing, and unleashing the innate divine within. And finally, we are reaching into the crown chakra. I think I forgot the third eye is Ajna. The crown chakra, I always mess this one up, is Sahasrara. I'm pretty sure I completely butchered the pronunciation of that, but Sahasrara. The 1,000-petal lotus, divine God consciousness, completely outside of form, the all that is. It's kind of parallel to the root chakra, where the root chakra is your identity here. And I don't mean like the ego identity. I mean it's your placement, the acknowledgement that you are in this body and you are supposed to be in this body. And the crown chakra is the same with the identity, if you could possibly ever, the identity of universal consciousness outside of form. So it's hard because universal consciousness wouldn't necessarily identify itself, but it kind of plays off of that energy in my studies and opinion. The crown chakra is divine source energy, divine consciousness. We oftentimes connect with the wisdom of the crown chakra in our sessions to help flood in cosmic energies, diamond light energy. This is violet light. Some would say white light as well. Now, the fun fact, the stream of consciousness of the Kundalini force, some would say is gold or white, clear light. So it just depends on what you resonate with. Now, each of these energy centers connects with each other, some more than others, and we want to make sure that we work on being generally balanced in our spiritual centers. And the more balanced we become, we observe that our life, the outside, becomes more balanced. So what I've learned over the years and in this process is the more that I have chipped away at wounds, or, for example, if you imagine a force field of energy ruminating out of each of these energy centers and above and below your relationship with the cosmos and Gaia, it's all like this torus field around your entire body. If one of my energy centers is out of balance or in a specific pattern where it's moving in an oval way or manipulating the energy in a way that is not balanced, then the entire stream is going to be off. So therefore, I am operating in a space that is not optimal for my overall well-being, and I might feel that emotionally, mentally, physically. And so I would just encourage you to ponder or dive into certain societal beliefs or conditioning where we really focus so much on the physical and not as much the emotional, mental, or spiritual patterns. And when I say spiritual, I mean what is outside of form. We've kind of generally went over the energy centers, the chakras, and now we're going to prepare for this part 1 exercise. Now, like I said, I will encourage you to listen to this whole thing the first time, and then when you come back and revisit this, you'll be prepared enough to just listen to the exercise. You don't have to listen to this whole spiel again. But it is important. We are going to be diving into the specific exercise that I have set up. And it's really unique, actually, how I've put this together. It's about 15 minutes in length, and you can download this from my website, and all of the sounds used are also available on my website. They are specifically tuned to each of the energy centers, as well as the utilization of binaural frequencies, specifically resonant with the theta state, and feel free to do research on the different vibrational states of being. So theta state, putting you into a relaxed space or relaxed center. So this first portion, each of you is going to be at a different layer, and I want you to do what's comfortable. Don't push yourself or say, oh, I know I could do this. I want you to experience this more than anything. So the first time you listen to this, wherever you're at on your spiritual journey, wherever you're at with pranayama and breath work, I'm going to encourage you to just focus on your breath and the corresponding energy center. We are going to be starting from the root chakra and moving our way up to the crown. And on the screen, there's going to be the corresponding color to that energy center to assist with this exercise. So The way I've created this is we have a portion of time that is just the frequency. And it might be a little annoying at first, but you will get used to it. It's a high-pitched ring. It's not going to be too loud, but I do recommend having your volume set to 50%, 50 to 70%. And then the next portion is the corresponding chord or the note progression that is then going to correspond with that energy center. The frequency is not going anywhere, but you're not going to hear it anymore when the progression comes in. Does not mean that your ears are not registering that sound. Sound healing, whether it's isochronic tones, solfeggios, binaural frequencies, your ears are registering that healing vibration or any sort of vibration. Anytime you're listening to sounds of any kind or receiving information from your environment, you have hairs in your hair follicles or hairs in your ears that register vibration that your ears may not pick up. And as they say, like dogs and cats can hear certain frequencies that humans cannot register. Does not mean that your ears are not picking up on that frequency. Very important for you to note. So it's going to start off with the frequency. You're going to register and hear that. And some of you might have immediate feelings or sensations within that energy center. And then it's going to move to the tone. Then we're going to move into the next energy center. So what I am going to request is that we do box breathing with this exercise. Now, when you feel more comfortable, feel free to go as you wish, but I do have a counter that is going to beat to each of the beats or the sounds. So it'll help you count your breath. This is what is most important, is I want to assist you in the control of your breath. So anytime you're wanting to work on breath work or altered state of consciousness or really diving into relaxation methods, dive into this healing exercise session that we have, because in part 2, I don't think that we're going to have the clicker. This one really, it might sound again annoying at first. I have it more subtle so it's not super loud and screechy, but it's just enough to guide you. Okay, you're lightly counting how many breaths you're taking, holding, breathing out, and holding again. We're doing box breathing. This is breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. Now I am going to recommend most of you, if you're just starting out, do 4 counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, out. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and do it again and again. Those of you who are a little more comfortable, I would recommend 8 counts. The reason why I say start with 4 and then go to 8 is 8 is a little bit more intense, but each count is going to put you into a different state of consciousness, and you'll notice this. One thing, please stick with 1 count for the entire exercise. Don't start with 4 and then go to 8 and then 6. Stick with 1 count the whole duration to ensure that we are building up control as well as divine will and spiritual stamina. These are very important recipes or ingredients to the recipe of spiritual liberation internally. So we're starting off with 4 or 8. And if you're choosing to do 8, the most important thing that you do is when the first run through or the first 8 count, you might have a difficult time, but take your time with the breathing. I want you to focus on maintaining a pattern of breath work that is consistent and that works well with you. And now that we've set a foundation or a base for the energy centers, the chakras, the colors, this is also going to condition your internal being into being consciously aware of these sounds. With the 8 count, take your time with that. You can also eventually down the line do 9 counts, hold for 1, 9 counts out, hold for 1, 9 counts in, hold for 1, 9 counts out, hold for 1. That's a little bit different because the sounds that I have or the exercise is aligned with even number breaths. So just make sure that you feel comfortable with the breath work. Now, for those of you who are a little bit more comfortable or seasoned when it comes to breath work and this type of exercise, I am going to incorporate or ask that you focus on the corresponding energy center that we are working with. And we start with root, move to sacral, solar plexus, heart, and then continue on up. Focus on that. And when you're breathing in, focus on breathing in energy into that corresponding center. Hold the energy there. Exhale out. Feel the energy expand. Now you want to exhale out of the nose and hold that energy, preparing to breathe in again into that energy center. If you're doing 8 counts, it would be a total of 6 times that you're doing this breath for each energy center. If you're doing 4, it'd be a total of 12 times that you're doing that for each energy center. And when you are feeling more comfortable, so whether it's the second time or the third or fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh time, I would recommend that you then visualize the color, the specific color, and I want you to focus on the color. It's very important that we don't waste our energetic time with these practices. You want to be able to put in all of your energy and attention and focus and awareness into a specific thing. You don't want to halfway do it. And this isn't the same as learning meditation or learning these practices where you have to keep kind of bringing yourself back into focus. It's more about intention. When you feel ready and comfortable, not when you want to push yourself. When you feel ready and comfortable, decide to bring in that color and watch how it transforms the exercise and the experience for you. Then what you are doing is you are combining sound and light to tap into your multidimensional awareness and altered states of consciousness, and therefore have certain experiences that are specific to you. So, very excited. We are going to prepare to get started. Please be sure to give this about 2 weeks and work with this every day. I would recommend morning and night, but if you just do it once a day, that's absolutely fine, or once every other day. And then when you feel ready, head into part 2, where we are going to then be adding my sounds, my vocals, light language, and traditional chants for each of the energy centers. And this is also a tool for you to join in with your throat, utilizing your throat wisdom, utilizing light language or chanting to connect even further with sound and light healing. And finally, for part 3, this is going to require you to be completely relaxed, have about 45 minutes to an hour of time, where we then guide you into an altered state of consciousness to even further experience the sound and light of the internal worlds, the internal being. And this would be a very great example of the Cosmic Attunement series and the programs that are offered on my website for your access. You can download the Wix Spaces app. You can connect with my services, everything, all that I offer, my resources, all through an app, the Lightbeam Sanctuary. Please be sure to subscribe, support my work. I love you so very much. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you enjoy the following exercise. As we bring this beautiful exercise to a close, I invite you to take deep cleansing breaths in and out of the heart, and hold yourself in this moment. This is a precious time to release any lingering energies, to cleanse, to assist you further, to recondition both your mind and body, allowing the divine within to move through you. To assist you further in this process, I've provided some affirmations that you can incorporate into this sacred space. You can repeat these with me or say them with your mind. I am love. I am open to receive the divine in every way. I am honor. I am compassion. I am seen. I want you to rest in this divine energy for a bit and open yourself up to receive its blessings for you. Understand that it is absolutely normal and okay to sometimes struggle to maintain conscious awareness throughout these processes. Just like any habit or behavior, we are building our spiritual stamina. We are becoming fully conscious and aware beings, and this takes time. I am here with you every step of the way on your journey, and I love you so very much. Until we meet again.